Good morning, fellow DJs. Good morning, Banter fam. So, I know we said we're going to do a live Banter show here, and we didn't have a show this morning. And that's because the microphone would have projected out and gone back into our audio, and what the audience would have just heard is echo, echo, echo. So we canceled that idea. And then what I thought I'd do is, since we're here and we have the time, what I want to do is I want to talk to you about the best trade I've ever made. Because since I got here, most of the questions have been around, what's the best trade you've ever made? So I thought we'll talk about that. So just some background for those of you who don't know who I am. I founded the first and only televised crypto show in the world, which aired on CNBC. At CNBC, I got a bit frustrated with traditional media. And what I realized was that crypto people love the fact that crypto is covered on CNBC, but they'll never listen to anyone on CNBC for crypto wisdom. They love the fact, we're proud of the fact that CNBC talks about crypto, but would you ever buy anything that CNBC tells you to buy? No. In fact, let me tell you. When CNBC talk about it, sell it. So, out of frustration, what I did was, I broke away and I started a channel. And the channel was authentic. The channel was, I started in a coffee shop. I was literally broadcasting in a coffee shop. I made the coffee shop, they used to close at 4, and I said, look, I want to take it from 4 to 5, I'll pay you. I started broadcasting in a coffee shop. And I wore, instead of wearing a suit and tie, which I had to wear at CNBC, I wore a t-shirt and a hoodie. And when CNBC told me never to have an opinion or never to voice my opinion, at Crypto Banter, I tell you exactly what I think, and I tell you exactly what I'm doing, and I tell you exactly what I paid, and I tell you exactly what I'm selling. And the approach was amazing. It was, people started to watch. People started to watch. And in 1 year, we started Crypto Banter in November 2 years ago, but that was just a pilot. And a year ago, we started Crypto Banter. We now have over 550,000 subscribers on YouTube. Yeah. We have the best community in the world. And when I say the best, we have the most loyal community in the world. That's a statistic from YouTube. That's not us. It's a statistic from YouTube. They tell us that we have the most loyal community in the world by a factor of like 3. We have a family of like-minded people around the world, which I'm sure you guys have met here. If you've been here, you've met people who are like you, who are part of the Banter fam. We're global, fully global. Wherever I go in the world, I meet the family. We chat. We're all regular people. And that's what Banter's about. It's about being authentic, being regular people, and building the most loyal community in the world. So, 3-4 months into my journey, I did a live broadcast of Banter. And there was a guy, a shy 20-something-year-old, who came to watch. Didn't say much. At the end of the night, he said to me, we had dinner, and he told me his story. He was a carpenter who invested in a crypto scam, lost everything in a crypto scam, had to sell his carpentry tools, lost his dad to suicide, was down and out. COVID, carpenter, sold his tools, lost all his money to a scam, had to look after his family. When I left the event, he said to me, and you've got to understand, whenever I go to places, people always say to me, watch this token, watch this token. He said to me, watch these 2 tokens. Yeah, right, okay. But anyway, I put them into my CoinGecko, woke up the next morning, the 2 tokens are done 100%. I was like, oh shit. Phoned him, I said, how did you know? He said, watch these 2 tokens. Next morning I woke up, both tokens done 100%. I was like, that's 4 out of 4. I called him, I said to him, what do you do? He says, I see the charts. What do you mean you see the charts? Charting is something you have to study. He says, no, I see the charts. And what I realized was that because he was a carpenter, He saw angles, he saw trends. It's like a chess player sees a chessboard. You know, like when you and I see a chessboard, we see like a couple of moves. But there's some people that when they see a chessboard, it's like, oh, look over there, it's 25 moves forward, but I'll show you how to get there. And I realized that what I was dealing with this guy, and his name is Sheldon. Now, Sheldon has never been to a big crypto conference before. This is his first one. He's never spoken on a stage before. He's got a big fear of speaking on a stage. And so I thought, instead of me speaking on a stage again, and I've done this for years, and this is probably my 10th conference, I'm going to hand it over to Sheldon. I'm going to give this to Sheldino. And brother, I know that Banter's changed your life. The stage is yours, bro.
Just testing. Mic working? Mic. Testing, cool. Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm finally. You know, it's quite weird. As Rand was talking about a few months ago, you know, I was a simple, like, I just learned, you know, basic skills of charting, and I was sort of, you know, after the passing of my father, I then, you know, I sold the business, I sold everything for that scam. I sold it to try help, you know, get my mom a package, get my brother a package, you know, get my father a package. We always struggled very much financially, and obviously that all fell down. I was left with about $400. I then had a car, and I decided, you know, when my dad passed, I knew I went through a bad experience before that, and I started drinking with the friends, and I started doing those things. And this time I said to myself, I'm getting out. And what I did is I started to travel South Africa, that's where we're from, travel around, you know, just get my head in the right place. I got a call the one day, will you meet us for lunch in Cape Town? I went there, that was great. I go up, they say, we're going to watch this Banter show. I've never watched a YouTube, like I've never watched these things and actually understood it at all. I then met Ran. We then obviously had the calls. I did a show that Monday. 3 days later, he gave me a call and he says, I want you to have a show. I said, okay, I'm not used to any of these things. I then did my first show. The community loved it, it was great. It is now 10 months in, and we have the biggest crypto live show in the world at this point. So, and that's why, obviously, this was the last crack for me, was to finally just get out there to say, you know, I think it's very scary for people to share their thoughts and to share these feelings. Where all this world needs right now is realness. Like, I feel like we're in this bubble at this point where, you know, everything seems easy and seems tough. And the main purpose of being on the show is to show you guys how not giving up and keeping it actually very simple and easy is actually the true technique to everything. And that's why today, you know, I came to this conference, and the reason why I absolutely believe in these conferences are fantastic is because for the first time, we have gotten so many like-minded people in one room. You know, when we walked in here, I saw everyone was like, you know, very like, you know, no one knows each other, everyone's very shy, very, you know, it's sort of got that tension going. 2 days later, I walk through there, I see groups of friends, I see people making contacts, I see people starting to start their own trading groups together, I see all these things, and it just shows the power of what these things are actually doing and showing how coming together through these times is super, super important. And that's why I'm going to be talking to you guys about emotion in the market, because I've spoken to a lot of people. I've gotten so much feedback from the community, which I love so much. You guys are all absolutely fantastic. Like, the stories that, you know, the stories I've heard is absolutely, like, it's unbelievable what people have done. And the biggest thing I learned from that is, you know, there's two things in this market. You got the fish and you got the sharks. That's how it works. in order to become a shark, you have to go through a certain amount of experience, right? People don't get that. They come in the market, they think, this is going to change my life. Majority of them make a little bit of money in the beginning, and then all of a sudden, the sharks come and they eat them all up, and we have the flushing system. And I think, I've spoken to so many people around here, and one thing I've learned is a lot of people are focused in one industry so much. They're focused in one line, one sort of thing, but they're ignoring the main simple little purpose of this is crypto is a numbers game. It's an emotion game. It is quite simple. They ride off the fear and they ride on the greed. And I was thinking very much today, if we can bring up the first slide. There we go. This is something that I believe, I don't care if you're an investor, I don't care if you're into gaming, I don't care if you're a trader, if you're anything, it is something that is so important to understand, because if you can have a balance between all of them, by understanding price, understanding emotion in the market, as well as fundamentals. My problem with fundamentals, I love very much, but people get too in love with their coins. That emotion rides upon them, and because they have that, and then they have the thing, they end up FOMOing to the markets. Guys, out of here, who is in their first year of crypto? Who's in their first year? Who's above, let's say, 2 years or a year and a half? So, these are the more experienced, and then we got the beginners. How many of you FOMO'd and bought in, just FOMO'd into the green? Who just bought the green? Everyone thought that was a thing. And, and the more experienced guys probably did that too, but now they're at that point where they've become a lot more patient traders. And that's just understanding the simplicity of understanding the emotion cycle. Understanding that when your aunt and your uncle and your cousin and everyone is telling you to buy Bitcoin or telling you to tell the market, telling you to buy these specific coins, is when you should start looking to sell your coins. It's very simple, right? Now, I want you guys to mix this simple strategy with any project out there that you believe in. Anyone that's doing great, but start becoming smart investors. Start thinking about your actual position, because, as you can see, the fish are the ones let's actually mark up there. I don't see my green thing here. But the fish are all the ones that are buying between the belief, the thrill, euphoria. The sharks are then loading them down. What do? They then get you into anxiety, denial. You think, okay, it was just a dip. It's going to continue. We'll be fine. It then rallies all the way down into the panic mode, then into the anger mode, and then into depression mode. And eventually, after 3-4 months of suffering, you decide to cut your losses because you can't take it anymore emotionally. And then what happens? Then we have the price start to return, coins then go back to all-time high, and then you come back into the markets. And you then start to realize that it's a simple cycle, that they flush you out. Who's buying here? The sharks are buying at the bottom over here. And the understanding, if you can incorporate the simple strategy of buy your favorite tokens, buy the great fundamental tokens, but learn to become a shark. Learn to understand, wait, don't chase into the pumps. Wait for the market to then recover or make its way down. It then slows down. This is very much what I talk about every day. And then this is where you should be stocking up, learning to be a bit more patient, and then looking for the next move. Now, I want to show you guys on the little May crash we had last year, on exactly how you can see the emotions play out. And you could see very much. We were at 65K. All-time high, baby. Everyone buy, sell the car, do everything. Just get into the market. All of a sudden, we have a big collapse. We fall down, it's just a dip. It's going to be fine. We're going to break all-time high again next month, and then we keep dipping. How many times do you buy the dip, but it keeps dipping? Then you buy the dip, and it keeps dipping. It literally a thing. And that's exactly through that. It's through understanding how it took a certain amount of time when it was sitting around the 65K area. I think it was sitting between 60 to 65 for the region of a few weeks, a month or two. And that was when the sharks were saying, okay, we can see the greed is getting up there. It's time for us to start banking a bit of bags, not to take profits, to exit and to come back. And when they exit and they come back, they actually increase their Bitcoin holding or their coin holding without having to put any more money into the market. Do you know how powerful that is? Because I started with $400. And when I started with $400, and I learned to right away up, I learned to take profits, doesn't matter if it went up more, I was patient, I was then able to buy another 30% more coins in the dip. The next pump up, all of a sudden, my portfolio is 70% up. I'm sitting at $1,000. And then it just starts to rally. And as you can see, When we had that big drop down, we then get to the anger and the depression stage. And this is where I bought the top, I listened to these idiots, I did these things, and now look, I'm a loss, it's a scam, it's absolutely, it's not working. And then it sits and it runs sideways, and it just teases you. It just teases, little green bars there, tease you, it's gonna go up, Just tease it, and eventually you get to that point where like, this is not going anywhere, it's going absolutely nowhere, I'm getting out, and as soon as you sell your coins, what happens? You know what I mean? That's what happens. And end of the day, this is something that's super important. Then you can see how from depression we go to disbelief, then FOMO, and then guess where all the guys, I wonder if this thing will work. There we go. That's when, from the stage of all the guys that sold out there, where did they go buy? This is exactly it. When we were last at this zone, and the reason why we're doing this, guys, is because, I've monitored, we got 100, 200, 300,000 views a day. And I've actually monitored the people and how they think and what they're doing. And all of them wanted to buy there. None of them wanted to buy there. Where we at the market right now, 2 months ago, everyone wanted to buy Bitcoin when it broke all-time high. No one wants to buy Bitcoin right now. And it starts to just put that in your mind that look how it is. Remember, Bitcoin's got a market cap that can't be changed. It is something that is changing to our old money system, which is absolutely fantastic. But everyone's fighting for the same coins. Everyone's fighting for that same position. The only way they are able to get your coins is to piss you off and to get you out of the market. They do that, they run off your fear, they run off of your emotion, they steal up your coins, and then they continue the normal ride. It's actually a simple game. And when you can learn to crack that little code, like even for me, the first step was for me to get to my $1,000. From my $400 to $1,000. From my $1,000, I managed to get to $1 million in a matter of 7 months. And then, thank you. Then from that, I managed to go more. And it just showed the hardest part was that $400 to that 1,000. From the 1,000 upwards from that was easy, because it was just the rules that I had to learn, and I didn't give up. And that's the purpose of this now. Why must you go and repeat the same things I went through, where we can actually work together, come together? I just give you a few tricks of what I'm looking at. Fear and Greed Index. Simple tool for you guys. Something to use all the time. It only happens, it only enters these specific zones 2-3 times every 4 years. It's not something that happens too often, and it's very simple. It's a simple tool that you go search it on Google, you load it up. If you're looking to invest in a project, invest, but please learn to invest smartly. Do it, but be a shark. Understand what you're doing. So when it gets to these zones, you could see that when we reach to the under 20% mark, this is when there's a lot of fear in the market. This is where the fish are getting completely smashed. They're getting eaten completely. And you can see over here, these were the last big major ones that we were getting in the last 3-4 years. And if I show you that on the chart, that's where it is on the chart. Those were the major extreme fears. And can you not see higher lows in that point? Banter fam, can you see higher lows, if I could say? You can see higher lows, right? Every time we are still in the same area of fearness, but the market is going up. Guys, Bitcoin has been the best financial creation ever, and it's finally given a lot of hope and a lot of chance. And that just shows you where we're entering right now. I'm speaking to people, oh, should we be buying? Oh, we're scared to be buying. It's not about, understand where are we though? We're in a very fearful position at this point. If I go next over here, another simple tool, stochastic RSI on a very high time frame. It's not about becoming a trader. It's not about becoming this fancy guru. It's about understanding when things are oversold and overbought. And you can see the little tools here. It only happened 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in the last 4 years. Every time, you would have bought there, 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 and now we're entering the exact same position over there. Another simple tool, right? Just showing you the market is oversold, they're flushing them out, and they're nearly done done with the actual flushing system. Now we look at next. Another big thing, guys, purchasing power of the dollar. Look how the dollar has been dying purchasing power. I actually saw something in the last 100 years, $100 is equivalent to $1,700 today. The same value. It would buy you the exact same thing. There's the dollar chart over the last 37 years of where we actually look at the money system we're in, guys. I need you guys to fall in love with crypto, because crypto has a chance to save the world. It has a save. The only thing is, there are too many fish out there. And what does that mean? It means we have a volatile market, because people are continuously panicking out. It's so easy for the rich to get richer. For me right now, I can't believe, keep watching. Watch me again in 2 years. Watch me again in 4 years. You'll see the simplicity of that. And then we go and we look at that chart. That's Bitcoin over the last 8 years. It comes with a strategy, but guys, we have something that is absolutely doing wonderful things out there. It has made more billionaires in a way shorter period of time. And look what it is actually doing. Just learn the simplicity. And I'm not asking you to become traders. I'm not asking you to become these very technical people. Learn how to buy fear, learn how to use a fear and greed index, and learn how to use stochastic RSI. It's going to teach you patience. It's going to teach you how to let the fish be eaten, be a shark, and buy with the sharks, and understand the absolute simplicity of it. So guys, this is something I want you guys to always keep. I do personally want to say this is a big moment for me. I love it. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk. It's been an absolute, I wouldn't say fear of mine, but it's been the last chapter that I wanted to really get through. You guys have given me a lot of faith, and all the people I've met, a lot of inspiration, and I'm truly, truly grateful to Ran for giving me the shot, brother. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you, brother.
Well done, brother.
Thank you, thank you.
Well done, brother.
And what Rand's just done for me now, I've just broken resistance. I've just entered all-time high. I'm in price discovery. Where we're going next. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. Much love, guys.